often in life, we find ourselves relaxing at a crossroads, even just taking in the day, as we will do with our next guest. Just allowing business to flow as it should in a fun, calm manner. I can't wait for you guys to join us today and see what our great guest has to bring to the table. Welcome to I Am a Fan. I am A to the J, but for that, you guys already know that. Every time I tell you guys I'm gonna bring you a great guest, I hopefully never disappointed you. But I know that our exciting guest today is definitely one that's gonna bring it to you. She's gonna There I go again. I get so excited about my guests. I always want to tell you everything they're gonna do, but I'm gonna let her introduce herself. I bring you guys the one, the only.
Elona
Hey,
Lopari.
hi. How are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you so much for having me on your show today.
Thank you so much for being here. So let's do this, okay? Generally, I'm always excited when I get a guest like you because you bring so much to the table. It's kind of hard to put it all together. So, as you saw, I have a hard time holding myself back. But let's do this. Tell everybody who you are, where you are, and what you do.
All right. I'm Elona Lopari. I'm a high level business consultant, and I help entrepreneurs and corporations build a legacy business through branding, marketing, sales systems, and team so they can make amazing impact, but also income through the channel of entrepreneurship. I'm based out of New York. I'm also a best-selling author to a couple of books. I love speaking. And I also have my own show. And yeah, that's a little bit about me.
Well, as I said, Fanatics, I didn't disappoint, did I? She's got so much. Y'all know how I get excited about these kind of guests. So let's kind of break this down, all right? Give me the proper saying of your name.
Elona.
Okay, see, I want to bet. Thank you. It's not a Lino. It's a see. I won. You owe me lunch. Sorry, my crew's crazy. Okay. So give me the origin of that because that's very different.
Yes, I am natively Albanian, Eastern Europe, small country in Eastern Europe.
Okay, we're familiar. We're familiar. We are in 51 countries, so we happen to cross yours.
Love
So
that.
we are very blessed with that, and we thank you for joining us. Business consultant. We're gonna get into all that, but I want to go back. I know you've probably done a million interviews, and I know everybody wants your time, and I appreciate you taking the time with us. But I don't know. Have you had a chance to listen to our show?
I have listened a little bit to your show.
Okay. Did you hear the sermons or did you hear us? There's a difference.
Did I hear one? I'm sorry. I
Did you hear sermons or did you hear us? There's a difference.
think I heard you.
Okay. So, and you still showed up. Thank you.
Yes, I'm
Appreciate
always
that.
up for fun and serving other audiences.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Tell me about your childhood.
Childhood. So I'm the oldest of three kids. I have a brother and a sister. 15 years of my childhood were spent back in Albania.
All right.
Happy childhood. We didn't have a lot of material stuff, but I remember being very happy. I had my community and my people, around me, childhood games, friends, all of that.
Absolutely.
Nothing, nothing important in that aspect as far as, I guess anything impactful. But what really raveled up and changed, I guess, my life trajectory was when I moved here
Mhm.
to the US. So, seen my parents struggle, for generation immigrants, had to start from scratch, didn't speak the language. So I grew up too fast. I became the third contributor in my home financially
Okay.
as well. So I got a job really early and I never stopped working.
Wait. At what age? At
Was
what age?
I didn't hear you.
At what age did you start contributing to the house?
15.
That's when most people are trying to get boyfriends and money, and you just said, "Forget the boyfriend, let me get the money."
Yeah, exactly. So I want to help the family. So my focus was not on teenage stuff as it should have been, but on growing up fast and
All right.
helping with whatever I could.
What was your first job?
It was a babysitter.
Ah, classic. I like it. I like it. Okay. So transition me there. Where did the fun come in? I mean, growing up too fast, but did you have any fun at all?
Hmm. Well, I mean, I had fun, I guess, as I got older. I started my little family. I worked. I got into different hobbies. I've traveled. So later on, when I guess we could afford to do more things, of course,
A
I
chance to go.
took that advantage.
Okay. Okay. So what hobbies do you enjoy?
So I love going to the gym. I love working out. So that's a hobby that I have. I love painting. What else do I like? Traveling, is a hobby that most people love.
Okay.
So yeah, I would say those three things.
Okay. Okay. I see it in your eyes. She's like, let's get to the meat. Okay, let's get to the meat of it. Let's go. Okay. Tell me how I can take my business to the next level.
Great question. That is where the meat is, and that's why I'm so passionate about the work I do. So we will start depending where you're starting from, right? We will start with clarifying what is your business, what is
Okay.
your business model, what is the problem you want to solve, and who are the people you want to do it for. So I would
Okay.
always start there, right? Clarify that first, reach those people, and then build relationships with them, right? Serve them in whatever way you can, whether you're doing it through social media, you're doing it locally, right? See what is it that what problems they're encountering, and see what is it that you can offer to them that is resourceful to start building meaningful relationships with them. So I would say
Okay.
that's where the beginning of it would be. And then as you grow and evolve, of course, you can continue to add more assets to the business. But I would say starting out, one offer, one community, one type of audience to serve, and just
Mm,
serve them one client at a time.
I like it. I like it. Okay. So we must be doing something right, guys, because that's how we started. We must be doing something right.
Mhm.
Um, as we our viewers, we call it fanatics. Okay. Fanatics kind of works for us. And as they already know, and I don't know if you know our background, we started out in a car. We started doing this show in a car with three people. And
Mhm.
it quickly grew because people just loved our content of being real, being open, and allowing everyone to share their story. And we've learned that that story touches so many other people and inspires so many others. You know, so that's what we started out. That grew to me doing speaking engagements. I do the show, obviously. I'm a consultant on other shows that I've helped create. I'm a comedian. So it kind of goes from there. So I understand what you're saying about expanding and exploring in different audiences because I have to wear, like you, many hats. And I get that. Sometimes, though, let me ask you because being a person that wears so many hats as you do, how do you switch or do you switch? Do you blend them or do you have to separate? Because I have sometimes have a little trouble separating them.
Mm.
How do you
Yeah,
how
I
do you
mean,
balance?
yeah, I love that your story, right? You start in a car. I mean, I was not in a car, but I started from my living room, right? It was only, I went live to just my friends and family because I didn't have an audience or people that I could
Right,
speak to or even know what exactly I was going to speak about, right? Because you do
right,
have those uncertainties at the beginning, like who's going to listen, what is it that I have to offer, hasn't anyone else done what I do, why am I
right.
different, all of that. But you see very shortly that when you start hearing the impact back, even if it's one person, right? I say build a business one person at a time, build your audience one person at a time. So we
Okay.
all come at this journey from many different angles based on our experience. So that's a little bit, about what I did as well. But um, I lost your question. What was your question, AJ?
I said as many hats as we wear, right?
Hats.
I I, I have a I have a tendency to blend, and although some of them do blend well, others don't. How do you balance?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I love the hat question because solopreneurship, we all start there. We have to wear all the hats. So I had a issue with that beginning of my journey because I was working for I was an executive leader, so I was used to big teams to support me. But when I came out as an entrepreneur, I'm like, wait, I got to do this all on my own. So I had to be the marketer, the salesperson. I had to,
Right.
be the networker. I had to figure out, what are the tools I need to grow my business. Sometimes I didn't always have the right tools at the right time. I didn't even know what I was looking for half the time. It's like I didn't know what
Right.
you don't know. So of course you wear a lot of those at the beginning, but later on, what happens is you get more wisdom and experience in the journey, and you also get some income, which is good, right? Because you need cash flow to keep growing and sustain what you're doing. And then you
Hmm.
start kind of getting more clarity around, wait a minute, which hat do I like wearing and which hat do I want to give to someone else that can do it better than me? And then you start surrounding and delegating slowly to people. It starts with family. I hired my daughter. I paid her a little bit at the
Mhm.
beginning because I didn't have the cash flow that I needed. So
Sure.
you start with what you have and then you grow from there. Um,
Okay.
Another
But
thing.
now, forgive me. Let me interrupt you for a second because I've always heard, and I know you've heard, never work with friends and family.
It's true. There's other challenges with that, but it worked out for that phase and stage in my journey to growing my
Okay.
business.
Your journey.
Uh,
Okay.
where it
'Cause
was,
you
I
ain't hurt my
finally was
family.
able to do a win-win with her, where she was still motivated to be to
Okay. Okay. Because you can't hire my family.
consider that.
My, my son is 30. My son wanted a raise the second day because he's the son's boss. He's the boss's son. I was like, wait, what? He was like, I shouldn't get paid what everybody else gets paid because I'm not them. I was like, you're right. You're not getting paid anything, you're fired.
That's it. That's how you do it. Yeah, expectations start rolling in, familiarity,
Mhm.
right? So then,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to detach that emotionally, I guess, with family and
Hmm.
friends. Yeah. I
Agreed. Okay.
think is this challenging even to work with family and friends early on, and you always go to them because they're the people that like you and trust you, obviously, and want to support you, hopefully. But
Absolutely.
it's kind of hard for them to see you in a new light because they see you as a different person, and then when you come on the business and you are offering maybe different services, they can't always attach and detach that. So the
Right.
expectation for lower
Right.
prices or free offers or whatever, usually either it's said directly or indirectly, but it's always there. So I think it's a good jump. It's a good trampoline to jump from at the beginning, but you can build your business just with your friends and family.
Okay. Okay. It's for me, it's always interesting because people go, well, I was with you before you had this. So why can't I get it like this? And I'm going, because it's not like that anymore. So, this
Or
is where it is.
I would offer opportunities for them. I said, okay, so if you would, let's set up a win-win situation. Where is it that we can support one another? So if there's something
Mm,
I can do for
okay.
you, where is it that you can maybe support me? Maybe do you know people that do what I do, right? I mean, human relationships are always amazing. I mean, it doesn't matter, right? So you have to see people as a resource, because people know people that know people that know people, and I can just go on forever with that.
True.
So
True.
you have to, find situations where you can set up some, win-wins where you can serve them and they can also serve you, and maybe
Right.
not always there will be a monetary exchange in that transaction, but it's still okay.
Okay. You're making my staff laugh. My staff is famous for not wanting to be on camera, but they like doing like cue cards like Johnny Carson. All right. And they going, we told you, because they've been telling me that for years.
Oh,
They're always like, no, I get accused of being very blunt and cut and dry. It's like this is how it is, this is how it's gonna be, and I don't really have a gray area, and I've been told I kind of need to get one.
well, maybe this
So
is another sign, AJ. I don't know.
perhaps I think you being the 10th or 11th person to tell me, I think I might start listening. I
Maybe
might.
it's the universe speaking to you. My first book is connecting the dots. So maybe there's a dot that just got connected again and again, trying to give you a message. So hear it.
Okay, absolute great transition. Let's talk about the books.
Yeah, there's two of them. There's my first one, connecting the dots backwards. That's really where I felt pulled to share my life experience and my journey, professionally and personally. Sort of, what
Okay.
shaped the person I was at that time, and how did I start my journey as an entrepreneur? What did I learn, and why this became my life's purpose? So, in the book, people find a lot of great information to really get clarity on their vision and their life purpose. And then my
Okay.
second one, which is right there, purpose driven entrepreneurship. I have a copy of it here. Is I put my framework together that I talked about when I just joined your show. So is for purpose driven
Mhm.
entrepreneurs, entrepreneurs that are hard led. They will find everything they need to know in that book on the main foundations to building a legacy business, everything from branding, the mindset they need to have, how to brand themselves, market themselves, sell, and then also create systems and bring in team as they grow, and they just start switching the hats between wearing them all on their own as a solopreneur and then delegating some hats to other people.
Okay. And where can they find these books?
They're on Amazon, and they can just search for my name and they'll find my books there.
Okay. And of course, fanatics, you guys know we're always gonna put the links. Matter of fact, since we're talking about links, tell everybody they can find you on social media.
My name, Elona Lopari. I'm all over the place. Yeah, they can connect with me everywhere on Facebook mainly is my main platform, but I also hang out on LinkedIn quite a lot because I also serve corporate clients and I help entrepreneurs that also land corporate projects.
Okay. I've never heard anybody say hang out at LinkedIn. That's funny. That's funny. It's so
I
business
hang out
minded.
where people
I've never heard anybody hang out there. That's funny. I like that. I like that. I'm gonna start hanging out there as well.
hang
But
out
I
where
get a lot.
people are.
We've done over 300 shows at this point. I'm
Congrats.
sorry, my staff doesn't like show. We've done over 300 episodes. They don't like the word show. I we have debates about that. We've done over 300 episodes, and about 60% of them came from LinkedIn and social media. So we do understand that it is very important to network that way. I greatly understand that. We got businesswoman. You mentioned a family. So mom,
Mom of two, yes.
wife,
Wife,
sister.
sister, and brother, as I mentioned before.
When do
Parents.
you when do you have time for you? When is your me time?
Yes, good question. It's calendared in, otherwise, it will never happen. Um,
Oh, all
yeah,
right.
I live by my calendar. I schedule my personal time first and then everyone else because I can't serve anyone unless I am not serving myself. And it's a
That is
habit
something
I've
I'm not
developed.
doing. I have to work on. I think I need your book. I think I need to get your books because I've not scheduled me time in probably 2 years. I haven't taken a vacation in about 3 years.
Oh, yeah, that's not good. But I could see why that is. You get immersed in your
Hmm.
work sometimes, and that's why I say the calendar and time management is something that I've learned
Okay.
along the way. It's important because your work sucks you in, especially if you love what you do. It just
Hmm.
becomes the line between work and life becomes very blurry unless you're very intentional with time management. And then
Right.
it's so easy to lose track of, and you're just like, I'm not just working all the time. But then you don't
We
want to let your health and your other relationships slip up.
right.
And then it's like, wait, why am I doing what I'm doing? If, the people that you
Absolutely.
love they have been neglected a little bit. So
Absolutely.
not good
Absolutely.
either.
As most people do, I'm sure you run into Kylie. She's my time management, and she does a wonderful job. And there's times where she'll tell me I'm supposed to do something. I know I'm supposed to do it. And 15 minutes before I go, what am I doing? So I definitely need to work on some time management. That you are teaching me so much right now. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Oh my gosh.
I'm
Let's
really
see.
glad that you have some takeaways from our conversation. I
I
hope
take
the
away.
same for your listeners.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Because I know for a fact that there's definitely going to be some very interested people that's going to be coming your way, since you're now what we call fan family. Okay, which means anyone that has a question in this area, we come to get you. We'll send them your way, or we'll just do another show and bring you back in as a consultant so we can let you talk to them. Because I have no expertise in your area and I don't profess to. My job as a speaker is to get people together and to speak to them. That's all I do.
Yeah, I love your role, and I switch my hats between doing that in my community too, because I've grown it pretty amazingly as well. So maybe I'll have you there and share the love because I really believe in collaborations. But yeah, being a speaker is a great gives you a lot of fulfillment when meet people and they
Mm-hmm,
share their wisdom with your people.
mm-hmm.
So there's
I
a
had
wisdom there for sure.
I absolutely, absolutely. I had the honor of doing my first graduation. And it was really cool because it was something like I think it was like 1,200 students and all the parents and faculty and staff at a school I had never gone to, never heard of. But students there heard of me and were playing my show, and it got people interested in what I talk about. And I was like, wow, that's mind blowing. So networking, yes. People, if you take nothing else away from what we're telling you, networking is key. You've got to get out there. You've got to talk to people. Okay. And let me be clear. You can't just talk to them any kind of way. Okay. You got to know what you're talking about. Okay. You got to believe what you're talking about. Am I correct?
Absolutely. But before even that, I would say, find out about them, find ways to serve them. Don't worry about you. Don't talk about you. That's not important. So figure out what's going on in their lives, build a personal relationship first. I always say
Mhm.
personal connections always open doors for other collaborations in the future. And look at people as look at this relationship as a long-term relationship, because maybe in the phase and stage that they're in, they might immediately be a potential person you can help right away. But again,
Mhm.
never underestimate that maybe they're, in a different phase and stage of their life, they already know you and you have done a good job nurturing that relationship. They will maybe resonate with something else that you are doing, but also the fact that people know people that know people that know people. So that is two key things to always remember, because sometimes when we network, I've done it at the beginning, I didn't always know the power of it. We always
Right.
looking at the person in front of us. And we're always worrying about ourselves. How are we going to sound? What are we going to say? But when I shifted the focus completely to what AJ is, going through, and what is he, needing, and how is it that I could support you? Then that was a game changer. And then I started getting less nervous, and I'm like, okay, I love to help people anyway. So for me, the more the merrier. Wherever I find and connect with them, it will be easy, and that's what I've done.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what we've done here. I mean, it's the whole basis of our show. Connect with someone and find out about them. So I actually understand that. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take a step back and I'm going to take your advice right now. Okay. You have the floor. Tell us what you need.
Oh, I mean, what is it that I need? I am always looking for people I can impact, whether it's through speaking in their communities. I believe in the power of leverage with that. Speaking in stages where I can share my message with my right type of audience. And yeah, if there's people that can benefit from my expertise and experience that I have in growing their businesses and getting other streams of income, especially with this economy we're going through, I think it's very smart to invest in yourself nowadays, and people are realizing that. So yeah, I would say that could be a start.
Okay. And how can AJ help you?
Well, you already leveraged this platform, so I think it's time for me to help you. So I would love to share the love back to my community and have you share your message with them as well.
I would love to. Anytime you're ready, let Kylie know and I'll be there. No problem.
Appreciate it.
Kylie, when she comes, clear the schedule for her. She has full priority. We got you. You're fan family now. And I don't know if you understand what that means. So let me try to break this down for you. We don't take anyone's time here lightly. Okay. We understand we could have been doing anything else today. So we very much value that. And we thank you for taking the time to be with us. Okay. You are now what we consider fan family. And like I said, if you've had a chance to listen to our show and you get a chance to listen to a few more, you'll understand that that simply means that everybody we've ever spoke to, everybody we ever will speak to, is your new family. Anything that they do, we refer them to you and vice versa. Okay. Your expertise is now on that level that we go to you first and everybody else second. That's what we do. You got to stay close to family. Okay. We have learned that when we work together as a community, there is nothing we can't do. We have done conferences where it was family members from all over the country, and even a couple of people that Skyped in from England, and we made such an impact on so many people. It was life changing for me. I probably the first time I ever cried in public. It was just that amazing that so many people came back and was like, I'm so glad that you brought so and so here. I had a question about this, I had a question about that, and we were able to touch so many people. So I absolutely, truly thank you for the opportunity that you're giving us right now. One more time, tell everybody how to reach you and how
All
to
right.
get your
I
book.
appreciate you. And I share the same values. So they could reach me. They can go to my website, actually, elonaloparicoaching.com. That's the best place to find out all the stuff I have happening.
Okay, okay. I'm gonna get the books, and then we'll send it to you because I want signed copies. I'm just greedy like that.
Where are you based, AJ?
We're based in Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Okay, so maybe when I stop by there one day, or we'll just mail you something. We'll figure it
Or
out.
maybe,
I'm in New
or
York.
maybe or maybe if I come back to New York where I was born,
Okay, there we go.
because I do have an engagement there in I believe June near my birthday, and I was gonna go see my old neighborhood where I grew up anyway. So we'll work something out.
Sounds good.
Absolutely, absolutely. We always like to close the show with some inspiration, affirmations. What you got for us?
Well, I would just go off what we talked about. Believe in yourself. I think you're starting to say that. I think it's important for people to understand that they just have to start taking some action around, the things that they feel pulled to go after. Take action, baby steps towards your goals. We have limitless potential. I'm a student of neuroscience, so I know that us as human being, the biggest limits we have is our mind, right? So if entrepreneurship is your journey and channel to navigate and to realize that limitless potential, like I've done, I put my personal growth as value number one, and then my business as value number two, because I knew the two would feed to each, would feed on each other, and the first one would serve the second. So the more you personally grow, the more
Mm-hmm.
whatever endeavor grows, your career grows, right? Wherever you are, you're a different person,
Absolutely.
your relationships improve. You don't have to always be an entrepreneur. You can be an intrapreneur working under someone else's vision and mission, right? So to each
Right.
his own, but I would tell your audience to always believe in their inner gifts, and to never be afraid to go after their dreams and take just the next right step until your vision starts to get clarity. And then the more you walk towards your personal journey and path, the more you start to figure out the right tools and the right people that are going to show up in your way to support you further. So
Nice.
take the steps that they need to take.
Nice. And as always, the signature of this show is I want to say from the bottom of my heart, I am a fan.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
I just don't know how often fanatics just, you get this opportunity to sit here and you get to see some of the greatest minds that have ever been born. And we go, oh my goodness, how in the world did I get so lucky? You got lucky because someone told you come listen to this podcast and come realize that some of the greatest people in the world aren't necessarily the richest and all that. Some of the best knowledge is right here homegrown. Everybody, fanatics, don't take what you heard lightly. Take it in, enjoy it, be blessed.